everybody, and welcome to the English with Narayana channel. We're doing another deep dive today.
Into how to learn new English words?
Yeah, and it can be.
It's tough.
It's really tough, especially when there are so many and you're like, where do I even...
Where do I even begin?
Yeah, we're going to dive into that today.
We are. We're going to talk about some really good methods for learning and remembering English vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is for all of you listening out there to find what works best for you.
Yeah, so you can actually start using these words
Yeah, exactly.
in your everyday life.
Right.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is learning words in context.
Okay.
And a lot of times when people are first learning a language, they think, oh, I'm just going to memorize lists of words.
Right.
But it's so much more helpful to learn a word when you see it in a sentence.
Right. And there's a reason for that. And that's because our memories are contextual.
Right.
So, like, if you just try to memorize a list of words, it's really hard to recall that information because there's nothing really attached to it.
Yeah, there's no anchor.
Yeah, there's no anchor. Exactly.
So if you see the word breathtaking and then you see it in a sentence,
right.
The view from the top of the mountain was breathtaking.
Oh, yeah.
Then your brain starts to connect those two things.
Right. And you can actually start to visualize it.
Yeah, and feel it.
Yeah.
So have you ever learned a new English word because you saw it or heard it in a sentence?
Yeah.
And the sentence helped you understand it?
Right.
Tell us about it in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your experiences.
Yeah. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is using words actively.
Okay.
Because just reading or hearing a word, it's not quite enough to like really put it in your memory.
Right.
So what are some ways that we can actually use words?
Yeah, so you can try writing your own sentences using the new words.
Mm-hmm.
You can say them out loud.
Yeah.
Even if you feel a little bit silly doing it at first.
It might feel weird.
It might feel weird.
Yeah.
But it's really helpful. You can use them in conversations if you have the opportunity to speak with someone in English.
Huh?
You can even use them to describe pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you see a picture, you can try to use the new words to describe what you see.
That's a good one.
And a tip for really remembering those new words is to try to use them at least 5 times.
5 times?
Yeah, at least 5 times in different situations during the day.
Oh, wow.
So the more you use it, the more you're going to remember it.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
It's kind of like if you're learning a new sport or a musical instrument, the more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Right.
So what's a new word that you've learned recently?
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments and write a sentence using that word.
Yeah, give it a try.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about associating words with images and emotions.
Okay.
Because our brains remember pictures and feelings really well.
They do. Our brains love visuals and they love emotions.
Yeah.
So we can use that to our advantage when we're learning new words.
Yeah. So for example, if you are learning the word serene,
Okay.
which means calm and peaceful,
Right.
you could imagine a beautiful lake at sunset.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and just imagine the colors and how calm and quiet it is. And you can say to yourself, this place is so serene.
It is.
And by doing that, by connecting the word to that image and that feeling, it just helps you remember it so much better.
Exactly, because you're not just memorizing the definition.
Right.
You're actually creating a whole experience around the word.
Yes.
And that's what makes it stick.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so the next one is spaced repetition.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
I have, yeah. It's a really cool technique.
It's really cool.
It's very effective.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to learn everything all at once, you space out your review sessions.
Right.
So maybe you learn a word today, and then you review it again tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then maybe in a few days, and then a week later, and so on.
Right. So you're reviewing it at increasing intervals.
Exactly. And there are actually apps that can help you with this.
There are, like Anki Quizlet.
Yeah, Anki Quizlet, Memrise.
Memrise.
A lot of different apps.
All of those are great.
And they use really smart systems to remind you when it's time to review a word.
Yeah, so you don't forget it.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is grouping words.
Grouping words, okay.
Which is another really good way to learn.
Yeah, because it helps your brain to organize the information.
Right.
So you can group words by category.
Right.
Like if you're learning about food, you can learn all the words related to food.
Like fruits and vegetables?
Fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
drinks, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then like words for feelings.
Yes, emotions.
Yeah,
You
emotions.
can group them together,
Yeah.
or travel, or anything, really.
Right.
And another cool way to group words is to create stories with them.
Oh, yeah.
So you can take a few new words and try to create a little story.
Yeah, make a little story.
Even if it's a silly story, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Right.
It's just a way to connect the words together.
Yeah. For example, at the airport, I forgot my bag and my passport.
Oh.
So I was very nervous.
Yeah, that's stressful.
Luckily, a kind hotel worker helped me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you've got airport bag, passport, nervous hotel worker,
Yeah.
all in one little story.
Yeah. And it just helps you
It connects them.
connect them.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're going to talk about learning word families and collocations.
Okay, so word families are groups of words that are related to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you learn the word happy,
Right.
you can also learn happiness,
Happily
happily, unhappy.
being happy. Yeah.
So you're learning all the different forms of that word.
Right. So it's not just like you learn one word and then you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And collocations are words that often go together.
Okay.
So it's kind of like learning the natural partnerships that words form in English.
Hmm.
For example, you might say strong coffee,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't really say powerful coffee. Yeah, I wouldn't say powerful coffee.
Right. It just sounds a little bit strange.
It sounds weird.
Yeah. So learning collocations can really help you to sound more natural when you speak English.
Yeah, and it helps you avoid mistakes, too.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about word families and collocations. Now we're going to talk about listening and reading.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, this is so
The
important.
more you surround yourself with English, the better.
Yeah, so listen to podcasts.
Yes. Podcasts like this one.
Like this one.
Audiobooks.
Audiobooks, YouTube videos.
YouTube videos with subtitles.
With subtitles.
So you can read along.
Read along.
Yeah.
Read books, read articles.
Yeah. Anything you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
And what's really important is to be an active listener or reader.
Right.
So when you come across a new word, don't just skip over it.
Uh-huh.
Write it down. Look it up.
Yes. Look it up.
Try to understand its meaning.
Yeah.
And maybe even use it in a sentence.
Yeah. And that's what I love about podcasts is that, if you hear a word that you don't know,
Uh-huh.
you can always rewind
You can rewind, yeah.
and listen to it again.
Exactly, which is great. And you can also adjust the speed.
Oh, yeah. You could slow it down.
If you need to.
Yeah, if it's too fast.
If it's too fast.
Yeah. So podcasts are really great for that.
They are. They're a fantastic tool.
Okay. The next thing is writing and speaking
Every day.
every day.
Right.
Again.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah. The more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything formal.
Right.
You can just keep a diary in English.
Yeah. A journal.
Yeah, a
You can
journal.
write little social media posts.
Yeah.
Send emails.
Even text messages.
Yeah. Text messages.
To your friends if they speak English.
Yeah. And for speaking, you can talk to yourself,
Yeah.
which sounds crazy,
I know, but it works.
but it really does work because nobody can hear you.
Nobody can hear you.
So you can make all the mistakes you want.
Exactly. You can experiment with the language.
Yep.
You can try out new words.
Yeah. And you can also record yourself speaking
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
and listen back to it.
Yeah.
Or you can find a language exchange partner,
Yeah.
which there's lots of websites and apps where you can find people
All over the world
all over the world.
who want to practice English.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is.
So writing and speaking, super important.
Very important.
Yeah. Okay, next we're going to talk about learning phrases.
Learning phrases.
Okay.
Instead of just single words.
Right, because native English speakers often speak in chunks,
Right.
in whole phrases.
Uh-huh.
So instead of just learning the word opportunity,
Right.
it's more helpful to learn a great opportunity
Yeah.
or missed an opportunity.
Right. A golden opportunity.
A golden opportunity, yeah. And instead of just learning the word improve,
Mm-hmm.
you can learn improve your English.
Yeah.
Or improve quickly.
Right. Improve dramatically.
Improve dramatically.
So you're learning those chunks.
Yeah, those chunks of language.
That native speakers use.
And that will make your English sound
More natural.
much more natural.
Yeah.
Okay? And then the last thing,
Consistency and fun.
yes.
This is key.
So important.
Learning a language takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
And it takes effort.
And it takes effort.
So it's really important to be consistent with your studies.
Yeah.
Even if you just study for 10 or 15 minutes every day,
Uh-huh.
that's better than studying for 3 hours once a week.
Yes. Little and often is so much better.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's also important to make it fun.
Yes.
If you're not enjoying yourself, you're not going to want to keep doing it.
Right. You're going to quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So find ways to make it fun.
Yeah, like you can play word games.
Word games.
You can use those flashcard apps.
Those are great.
Yeah. Watch English TV shows and movies.
Yes. That's a fun way to learn.
Yeah, and try to learn a new word of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
There are lots of websites and apps that have word of the day features.
yeah. Okay, so to sum up this deep dive, we talked about learning words in context, using words actively,
Connecting words with images and emotions.
spaced repetition, grouping words, word families, and collocations,
Listening and reading every day. Writing and speaking every day, learning phrases.
and being consistent and having fun.
Yes. Those are the key takeaways.
So which of those ideas sounds the most interesting to you?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Tell us in the comments.
What works best for you?
Yeah, and if you found this deep dive helpful,
And you want to learn more English with us?
subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more helpful content coming soon.
We do, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.
Yeah, and in the meantime, keep practicing your English. Have fun with it.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.